Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the Practical Life. This is Ashley Nicole, and welcome back to another evening live. I hope your is today Monday? Yep. I hope your Monday went well, and we're going to get into an update regarding the Sweetie Pie's case that's related to Tim Norman, the passing of Andre Montgomery Jr., and all the people that were involved, right? So, y'all, my voice probably sounds horrible. I told y'all the other day, I am like a little bit under the weather. I don't feel sick, but like my voice, I don't know what it is. Like, so I will be sipping on some water throughout this live. But I think I need to rest my voice. So I probably won't be on here too long, but I definitely saw that Waiel or Wiley was sentenced today. And so we're going to get into that. But y'all, before I get into that, would y'all believe me if I told y'all that another possible hurricane is coming? Like, can it be over already? Like, hurricane season is from June 1st through November 30th. And usually it's like a lot of, thankfully, it's been a lot of, possible severe hurricanes, things like that. But the thing about hurricanes is that you don't really know what category it's going to be in until like literally sometimes like hours before. Like, you know that it's coming, but you don't know how severe it's going to be. You don't know if it's going to be a tropical storm. Sometimes it might start off as a category 2, category 3, something like that. Then they'll come back and say, oh, okay, it's a category 1. Like, it's all over the place as far as what type of storm or how much damage it could do, right? So if y'all don't hear me or see me on this on YouTube for a few days, that's why, because I'm trying to get prepared for the hurricane. I think it's supposed to come. Well, rain has already started. It's been storming already today. And like here, when it rains a lot, it's like a lot of flooding and stuff like that. If you live in a flood zone, right? Um, and then tomorrow evening, I believe it's supposed to be more rain. So probably it's going to rain all day tomorrow. Then starting tomorrow evening, it'll be a lot of winds and stuff like that. So y'all pray for us, please, because these hurricanes don't be no joke. Even if it's not like a severe storm, a lot of times it's a lot of flooding. It's sometimes a lot of tornado warnings. It's always windy. I knew something was going on because when I was driving earlier today, it was just no yesterday. Yesterday, I was driving and I'm kind of close to the beach, right? And so I'm driving. I'm like, why is it so windy? That's like one indication that like a storm is brewing or something is coming here. I noticed that like if you see those palm trees going, honey, and they start swaying a lot, and when you at a stop sign or if you at a stoplight and your car starts swaying, that means later on the wind's about to pick up. So you better start getting prepared. So y'all, again, please pray for us because this is just it's just too much. But anyway, so we are here to talk about Waiel. Now, Waiel Yaghnam, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He was a co-conspirator in this case with Tim Norman, conspiring to, um, to unalive Andre Montgomery Jr. Now, Waiel, he was actually a music producer, and from what I read, basically all this information that I'm providing is, just my opinion, just reacting to the sentencing today, giving my commentary. I follow this story, as you all know. Again, I'm from St. Louis, and so it's kind of close to my heart. Um, And so I'm following this story and what's going to happen and how it's unfolding and things like that, right? So Waiel, I believe that he was a music producer for Nelly, and as you all know, Nelly is from St. Louis. And some kind of way, this man then got tangled up with Tim. Now, previously, what I had learned was that allegedly Waiel was a customer in Sweetie Pies for a long time. He would come every week and have dinner there or lunch there or whatever it might be. But he was like a weekly customer. And I think Tim said this on one of the either in court or something like that, right? But he was a weekly customer. And so even when I heard that, I was thinking to myself, well, why would, because this is the thing, in my opinion, about Sweetie Pies, y'all, especially for a person who grew up in St. Louis. Sweetie Pies restaurant is based on, soul food, right? Okay. But in St. Louis and probably a lot of other places, especially in the South too, we are used to cooking those things on a regular basis, fried chicken, um, greens, and not just, I'm talking about, because my family, tangent, my family didn't really cook collard greens by themselves. They would mix the greens. Like you might get a bunch of collards, right? One bunch of collard, you might get some you're gonna get you some mustard, you might put some spinach in there. Like it wasn't just collards. And you get your turnip bottoms or whatever, right? But my family was used to cooking like that, macaroni and cheese, yams, like that was like a regular Sunday dinner. So that's probably why I had never really been to her restaurant, the original one in Florissant, or because I'm telling y'all, I had never even heard about Sweetie Pies. And I mean, I was born and raised there. Even when I went to college, I left for college and then I went back for my master's and I stayed there for a couple of years. I had never heard of Sweetie Pies, but it's probably because, again, I was born and raised there. That was just a regular meal that your grandma would fix. You know what I'm saying? On a Sunday or something like that. So it wasn't nothing to like, oh, that's food. Like that's, like a craving you would have, or, oh, I want some Sweetie Pie today or something. No. And then when I saw the show of course I had went to visit St. Louis and was like, okay, let's go to Sweetie Pies. And I'm just giving my opinion. I didn't like it. Like it was, I think it's because I felt like this what we eat at home. Like I could have went to my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I felt about it. But I get the idea and the fanfare, right, of people coming from all these different places because they see it on TV, right? And it's just like an experience, right? And so I get all of that. But this man was allegedly going to the restaurant every week. And I'm like, to me, I would be, and I forget what meal he was ordering. I think they said what it was, but I would be suspicious of that. Like, maybe I'm just a suspicious person, but I'd be like, have y'all seen this man sitting here every week? Like, what is he doing here? I mean, I know he eating, but you mean to tell me the meatloaf and mashed potatoes that good? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I would have just been side-eyeing him or just, kind of watching to see what he doing or whatever. So anywho, him and Tim, they started, I guess, conversing, just kind of getting to know each other. He was a regular at the restaurant. So I guess Tim like, okay, well, let me start talking to him or whatever. So I guess they start getting into conversations. Who knows what the conversations were about, right? Who knows what the conversations were about? But Waiel eventually, I guess, became an insurance agent. And so he and this is what I said before, and I'm gonna read some of this to y'all too about I saw some information about kind of like what the judge was saying, what Judge Ross was saying. But if anybody knows about when people searching for jobs and things like that, sometimes they come across these ads where it's almost like it's too good to be true. Oh, you can make $3,000 a week, You can network, meet different people, things like that, right? And you like, oh, okay, cool, this sounds cool, right? And you go to whatever the place is, set up the interview, you go, and lo and behold, they tell you, oh, it's selling insurance. Okay. So then some people who are natural sellers, they're like, oh, cool, I can do this, right? Or maybe people who have had experience in doing that, they're fine with it. But people who don't have experience in that or don't feel like they could sell things, right? Or persuade people or influence people to buy something, they're like, oh no, I can't do this, right? But in that business, you've got to have a clientele, right? You've got to have clients and people. You got to know a lot of people that know people that know people that need this service, right? So you can kind of sell it. Now, Waiel, him being a music producer, I would think that he probably would know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? He probably know a few people or whatever. But if you new to insurance, that means you're trying to get business, right? And remember when I said some people, they trying to hustle and get things so bad to the point where they willing to say and do anything, right? They willing to say and do anything. So it appears to me that, you know, he kind of, I don't know, maybe he talks to Tim about, oh yeah, anybody that need insurance or whatever, boom, 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 however that went down. Long story short, ended up lying on the insurance application that Tim was trying to get for Andre, right? And so he was, with everything that happened with Andre, he was a co-conspirator in the matter because he was the one who turned in these applications to all these different insurance companies. And even on one of the applications, it was alleged that he had, with insurance, when you get insurance policies up to a certain amount, you've got to have like a physical exam because they want to know that you're in good health and things like that. And I forget how much it was, but it was a high amount, and so he put it in for $1 less than that total amount that you could have. And so it got flagged, right? So none of these, I don't think any of these insurance policies were able to be cashed out. None of them were able to be cashed out. But he was, they were trying to get him for wire fraud, insurance fraud, and things like that. So all of that happened. So today, what happened was he was sentenced for applying for fraudulent policies on Andre's life, right? Because we know Andre was unalived. So, he applied for these fraudulent policies. I guess some of the information on there was false, things of that nature. Judge Ross sentenced him to 3 years in prison on one count of wire and mail fraud connected to the applications, right? And Tim, as we know, was the sole beneficiary of the policies. And we also know that he was convicted in September. So now, at first, it was said that Waiel, during the court proceedings for Tim, nobody could find him, right? Nobody could find him. He was quote unquote missing, and things like that. So, and he said even if he, I guess his lawyer was saying even if he did come to the court proceedings, he was going to plead the fifth. But I'm interested in knowing what his answers would have been to some of those questions. Like, did you know what was going on? Like, did you know that Tim was, if he was, plotting to unalive Andre? Did you persuade Tim to, put fraudulent information? Did you know it was fraud? Like, it would have been a whole bunch of questions, right? I would be curious to know what the answers would be. I really would. Now, Judge Ross said during the sentencing that he believed that Waiel was motivated by a desire to advance his business. And see, that's what I was saying, y'all. Like, when you are, I wonder, my question would be just based on, just pure curiosity. What happened with the music? Like, why was he not a music producer anymore? Did he just not, wasn't feeling it anymore? Did he fall out with somebody? Was it not lucrative enough? Like, what happened with the music thing? Because I mean, if you was a music producer for Nelly, I mean, you got some credits. You know what I'm saying? You got some credits. You probably got a little clout, where you could produce for somebody else. Whether they are, they may not be on Nelly's level right now, but you could probably produce for some pretty popular rap artists, I would think, if you got credits from producing for Nelly. You know what I'm saying? So I would think I would want to know like what happened with that. But Judge Ross said that he was trying to advance his business, which was, I guess, of course, the insurance business. So, that's why I was saying before, like when you are a new insurance agent, you got to hustle, right? You got to be hustling to get clients. You got to be hustling to figure out who needs this service, trying to persuade them, trying to meet with them, let them know what the benefits are, networking with them, letting some people that may turn down say, no, I don't really need it, I already got a policy or whatever. Okay, but do you know somebody? Like, you got to be talking to people all the time, networking and stuff like that. So Judge Ross, apparently he in some ways, it looks like he agreed, like, okay, it looks like you was trying to advance your business. There's no evidence, now this is quotes, right? Well, from what Judge Ross said, there is no evidence to suggest you knew a murder was going to occur, right? But it was a foreseeable outcome that bad things were going to happen. And I agree, y'all. Like, that's just common sense. If somebody, so then that tells me that just me thinking out loud, in my mind, whatever the judge saw or lawyers or whatever, right? There was something that should have made him say that tells me that maybe it wasn't him asking Tim, like, oh, do you know somebody, this is this, maybe it was Tim coming to him, right? Apparently. So something that out of all the conversations that you had with him, nothing came in your mind to say, nah, okay, he trying to take out 5 policies. He trying to take out, and he want me to hurry up and get the applications in and all this stuff. He said, okay, just put this on there. Oh, I don't know that information, just make something up, right? Allegedly. And you said, okay, like, what did you think was gonna happen? Did you ever have any questions about why he was doing it? Like, nothing stood out to you to say, oh no, this ain't right. But see, that's what I be saying. A lot of people always they out for self, right? They out for self and they're not thinking about the next man. It's like in the hood, and when you do hood things, hood politicking and all of that, every man is for himself. So it's like, okay, he doing doing whatever he doing. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in applications and I'm gonna get my little commission or whatever off of it. He can do whatever he want to do. Not even thinking you got something to do with it. You know that you turning in information that's fraudulent, right? He probably didn't know nothing about Andre. I wouldn't think, you know what I'm saying? But somebody asking you to turn in fraudulent applications on not one, not two, not three, not four, you know what I'm saying? All of these insurance applications. What did you think? I don't get it. Then my question is like, what was in it for him? I mean, he was going to get commission, but it had to be something else. It had to be something else, right? So Judge Ross, like, okay, you anybody for real. I'm like Judge Ross. Anybody could foresee that something ain't right here. Something bad getting ready to happen soon because he rushing me to turn in applications. Like, we ain't even got the right information on here. Like, you got to be smarter than this, right? He applied for multiple life insurance policies, but only one worth up to about 450,000 was eventually approved in 2014 by Forrester. So I think we knew that, right? That was according to the court testimony. Um, it says that Yaghnam, he admitted in his plea agreement that the insurance applications included false information about Montgomery's net worth and background. He also instructed Norman in text messages to impersonate his nephew over the phone with an insurance company, according to evidence presented in Tim's trial. So again, you going along with it. Now, like Judge Ross said, okay, you may not have known that was gonna happen, but what did you think was gonna happen? Like, just think of it in common, just like layman's language, layman's terms, layman's situations. Anytime anybody heard about, we hear these stories all the time. Anytime anybody heard anything about somebody get taken out a huge life insurance policy on somebody all of a sudden, or just out the blue, what's the first thing we think? Oh, they planning on doing something to them. That'd be the first thing. I mean, anybody would think. That'd be the first thing. Now, maybe it may not be, but that's the first thing that's ready to come to your mind. Probably 8 times out of 10. Like, dog, why they all of a sudden took out a life insurance policy on such and such? For what? Did they know about it? What? And then then you knew you was in the wrong, because now you sending text messages saying, oh, well, go ahead and act like you him on the phone. Man, mm-mm. That's why I would have been curious to see how he was going to answer them questions on the stand if he would have got up there. But no, he wanted to plead the fifth, so But boy, that really would have been interesting. So yeah, so he instructed him to impersonate Andre over the phone with the insurance company. 16 days after after he was unalive, Wiley placed a call to the insurance agency to try to collect the policy. And of course, like I said, they were unsuccessful because the insurance agency wasn't provided the final the toxicology report, the coroner's report that was necessary to process the claim. So that tells you too that Waiel, he was new at being an insurance agent, honey, because I mean, wouldn't they know that? I would think. Like, I've never been an insurance agent. I don't even know if I know anybody that's an insurance. No, I don't think so. But wouldn't it be something that they know that you need to collect on a policy? Like, and this just me thinking out loud, or did Tim tell him, nah, just go ahead and try and see if they'll give it to you? Like, these are dumb criminals. Like, I I just don't understand it. Like, what you doing don't even make sense. What you doing, anybody with common sense, or any just sense, right? Because common sense ain't common, child. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Because it be a lot of stuff I see every day, and I be like, what is the world coming to? Like, you mean to tell me? But that's a tangent. Moving on. So yeah. So Andre's family spoke during the sentencing. Um, they argued that while Wiley's greed in pushing forward the policies created motivation to unalive Andre. So y'all, what do y'all think about that? So basically what they saying is that this is the policies being created gave Tim motivation to go ahead and go through with whatever was being planned. Do y'all think that was the motivation, or that it was something else? Me, in my opinion, I don't know. Like, I feel like that may have been the cherry on top, thinking that he was gonna get some money. But I feel like it was deeper than that. Like, I feel like Tim, in my opinion, he literally had a hate for this young man, right? And just so happened he met Waiel and said, "Oh, I can get some insurance money on him too." Oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, cool. Right? Because you couldn't possibly think, you could not possibly think that that was gonna go through, that you was gonna be able to cash in all those insurance policies when you didn't lie on the applications, when you didn't impersonate him on the phone. Like, it just don't add up. Like, I feel like it may be a combination of those things, but I don't think that's the sole reason. That's just my opinion. I think that was like the cherry on top. Like, oh yeah, I can get a little pocket change too. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Um, Andre's brother Darren, he said, "You turned a blind eye. I believe insurance agents have to be held accountable. Absolutely, absolutely, he should be held accountable because any profession, whether it's and I'm only in one, professional, whatever, right? But any profession like lawyers, doctors, therapists, any profession that you go into, you have a code of ethics, right? You have a code of ethics, and you also have your responsibility. You have to do your due diligence, and I would imagine that being an insurance agent would be no different. You know what I'm saying? You got to ensure that the information that you have is is not false information. You're getting the information from the source. I would imagine, you got to sign off documents. You got to get things, what is it, y'all? What is it? It's right on the tip of my tongue. You got to get things, a witness to sign off on it. You got to get things signed and sealed. Hi ML, thank you for joining the live. ML says, I agree with you that it was twofold, right? Like, I don't think that they created the motivation to go ahead to do it. Like, I just don't. It was something deeper that nobody will ever know. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will ever know. Yeah. So, but I would think that as an insurance agent, you have a due diligence as well. So now my question is, now, did Waiel go through some kind of training when he became an insurance agent? Like, I would imagine then we have to do some kind of training or some kind of or take an exam. I'm about to look that up. Take an exam or something. Um, right? So, but if he had to go to training, Waiel wasn't paying attention because, girl, I know, I know doggone well that you got to make sure that the information that you're getting is right before you turn the application in, because you're putting your own self on the line. You're putting your own career on the line. If you're an insurance agent, you're a licensed insurance agent, you could probably lose your license. So, hold on, I'm about to see. Now, this one said, now it probably depends on the state too that you're in. Um, excuse me, y'all. Um, okay, so this is just general information. So this may not be the specific process, but this is just in general. Okay, so it says you should decide what kind of insurance agent you want to become, right? I guess it's different ones. Which products are you going to sell, right? So you got, general liability insurance, commercial insurance, property, things like that, right? You got to review your state's licensing requirements. So this man was a licensed insurance agent, right? Right? The two most common ones are property and casualty, right? So that's for your auto, home, your business. And then you got, of course, life, health, and accident, right? Um, Things like that. So yeah, so he was licensed. Then he had to take an exam. So now this says most states require you to complete a pre-licensing class. Many of these can be taken online or through an in-person course. Requirements vary depending on the state. From a one-day class to 20 to 40 hours of online training. Waiel, I don't know which one he went to, child. Waiel probably went online. And let me tell you something. A lot of it's, y'all, don't, please, whenever you doing something online, buying something, courses, whatever it is, make sure it's credible, y'all, because people be out here scamming. People be out here duping people, y'all. And I'm telling you, a lot of it's some people out here that have degrees but don't have a degree. I'm gonna just put it like that. Like these people be making up degrees, they be putting together certificates, all kinds of stuff, y'all. Y'all, I'm telling y'all. I remember, I think, and yeah, it was in Florida. I think I told this story before about this young man. He might have been, I think he might have been, he couldn't have been no more than 25, but he was around here doing in-home medical visits, right? He said he was a doctor. I forget what kind of what his specialty was, child. But he was doing home visits for patients and was not a doctor. But he had a degree, he had the certificate, had transcripts, all of that. All of that was made up, y'all. All of it was made up. So Waiel act like he then made his up because it ain't no way that you turned them applications in and didn't know that you was about to be in some trouble, right? And so then my thing would be, what I don't understand is why would you risk that? I just don't get it. So then it says, okay, so it talks about the exam, submit your no, you lying, submit your application and your background check. So apparently, based on what this is saying, I don't know because I'm not an insurance agent. But Waiel, he must have passed the background check to be a licensed insurance agent, right? Right? So when nothing in this man background, and out of the blue, you did some stuff like this. You didn't got tangled in some stuff like this. And the last thing that you got to do, one of the last things, is what? Find and maintain clients, right? You got to find some prospects. You got to market your agency, right? You might have a website, you're going to go to maybe the Chamber of Commerce, things like that. You got to explore your advertising options because you have to find and maintain clients after you become licensed. So that's why I said he might have just been fishing for people. Oh, okay, you want to try to get 5? Oh, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Probably not even realizing what this man was trying to do. Oh, yeah, you need me to turn this in. Oh, okay, cool. He was trying to hustle. He was hustling. Now, with you hustling, you didn't got yourself caught up in some mess. Now you got to do what? 3 years. Now you got to do 3 years. Right? So absolutely, I'm with Darren. Yes, he has to be held accountable, right? Because again, like ML said, I think it was twofold, right? I think it was twofold. That knowing that you're gonna get a little bit him knowing he gonna get a little bit of money, he might have said, oh yeah, go ahead, perfect, cool, right? But if Waiel had said, nah man, I can't do that, it's gonna be flat. You know what I'm saying? Especially he a new insurance agent too. That means you fresh in your mind are the rules. Some people in some professions, after a while, you got to go back and you got to look at what them statutes say and all this stuff. But when you knew, everything is fresh in your mind of what you can do and what you can't do, right? So he could have told, Tim, nah, man, I'm not going to be able to do that because A, B, and C, X, Y, and Z. If he said, oh, just call him and see if he can get, no, you're going to, that's your responsibility. I can't do that. I'm just the person who turns in the application or whatever, whatever it was, he could have told him that. But you said, oh yeah, go ahead and act like you him. Are you a fool? Gotta be. Mm-mm-mm. Andre's sister, Kaylin, she spoke as well. And Kaylin said, quote, he shouldn't have looked at my brother as an opportunity to make money, end quote. Okay. I'm with Kaylin. Like, you may not have known specifically who he was, but you knew he was a person. You know what I'm saying? You may not have known the ins and outs of the relationship he had with Tim, but you knew he was a person, you know what I'm saying, that deserved to be on this earth, that deserved respect, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like you was just looking at the money part, how much money you was getting ready to get off of these policies. Now, Waiel's attorney, his name is Neil Bruntrager. I don't know how you pronounce that. Neil Bruntrager or Bruntrager. Um, he asked the judge to sentence Waiel to only probation, arguing his client did not know Norman intended to have Andre unalived. Probation? I mean, okay, y'all got to look at it too. Like, okay, I got to think. This is his attorney. You're going to try to get the best situation, I guess. Excuse me, y'all, for your client. You're going to try to get them in the best situation or whatever, because, okay, it's like, okay, he's going to take some accountability, but he don't need to be going to jail. Oh, yes, I feel like he do. Because especially you were new, and this is just my opinion, you were new in the insurance field, you're a new agent, you're licensed, so you know the laws and rules in the state for the particular license that you have, and one of them is ABC XYZ. I'm sure some of those laws and rules have to do with making sure that the application that you're submitting is correct, and the information is correct and true, so on and so forth, right? And definitely not advising anyone to pretend that they are the applicant. um, the lawyer went on to say there's not one iota of evidence he had any knowledge of the bad intent, emphasizing that the charge was a white collar offense. Wow. He argued that he filled out multiple policies at once, in part because he switched companies and could win a trip for more applications. Oh my God, I just can't. I just can't. So you were trying to go on a trip. So tell me this, Waiel, how much? When were you a producer for Nelly? When, Waiel? Was it the very first album? Was it mixtapes? Because you mean to tell me you fishing to complete submit multiple applications for people insurance for folks they don't with fraudulent information just so you can win a trip? A trip to where, Waiel? Where? This don't even make no sense. This is foolishness. Um so right, it says he worked in life insurance after a career in the music industry that included producing rapper Nelly's hit 2002 album. Oh, so he worked on Nellyville? Um, why you ain't got no money left? Why you don't have no money left? He spent it all? I mean, did you produce only one song? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it. So now, so y'all, that is it. That is, Waiel has been sentenced to 3 years. Sentenced to 3 years for wire fraud. And one count of wire and mail fraud connected to those applications for policies for Andre. And so next up, who do we have? Next up, we're gonna have for sentencing Tim and Terica. And y'all know how I feel about Terica. Ooh, 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 ooh. Tim and Terica, they're going to they are awaiting sentencing in the case. I'm not sure when the dates are, but I would definitely be keeping up with the news regarding this case or whatever. So I just wanted to pop in, let you guys know that news and give my reaction, commentary, and opinion on it. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining the live. I appreciate you all for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I do have a few people did ask me about a Cash App, you guys. So I do have it there. If you want to, tip the host, or if you want to buy me coffee, y'all know I love coffee, child. I love it. um, shoot, I might be on 2 cups of coffee tomorrow because of this dang on storm. Y'all, please pray for South Florida. I don't even know. I just heard that it's going to be going through South Florida. It may be the whole state again. But as it goes north, I think it's going to become like a tropical depression or what have you. But pray for us, y'all, that it's just will be just a lot of rain and not a lot of wind. But again, thank you so much for listening, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.